Welcome back to the Crypto's Key conversation. We're going to be looking into some updates, what's going on with the Ripple versus SEC case with these 2012 Ripple memos being unsealed. We're also going to be taking a look at what's going on with this Coinbase moving this massive amount of XRP and just how things are looking in regards of potential settlement and potential relisting of XRP, just question marks. Quickly looking at CoinGecko here, we're currently sitting at a $1.91 trillion market cap, currently up 0.2% for the day. Looking at the top 10, Bitcoin sitting at 40,311. We were recently in the 30s, the high 30s. Ethereum is sitting at 2,791 tethers. Tether BNB is sitting at 403. XRP is sitting at 85 cents. We're currently up 10.5% for the 24-hour period. Really pay attention to what's going on here, because we're going to cover a tweet from Dr. Fender that really hits it on the head of kind of what's going on and what we can expect, in the wind or the murmurings of a potential settlement that can happen. Cardano is sitting at $1.01. Solana sitting at $91. Avalanche is sitting at $85, and Terra is sitting at $51. Coming over here to the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. Look at this. We're back in the extreme fear range, and obviously there's a lot going on. We're going to cover some of the stuff with Canada, looking at inflation and stuff again, and then start looking at what's going on with Russia and Ukraine and those issues, and just other FUD and negative articles and stuff that's been happening within the community that's been affecting our markets. But as you can see, we went from being in the 52 neutral to quickly dumping back down into the extreme fear of 25. So we're going to continue to track what the market sentiment is looking like. But as you can see, we're back in this range. We're going to start here with this. This is absolutely massive, okay? This is from Bank XRP had tweeted this Fox Business interview. He has Charles Gasparino on it and Crypto Dad on it, Christian Carlo. So he says the laws. He's talking about Christian Carlos. Talks about XRP and the Ripple lawsuit, as well as his vision for what crypto regulation should look like. So let's take a listen in.
New developments in the landmark SEC versus Ripple lawsuit, raising questions as to how the case is going to end, not just for Ripple, but for the thousands of investors who own the XRP token. Joining us now is former chair of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission and author of Crypto Dad, Chris Giancarlo, along with, of course, our very own Charlie Gasparino. Chris, you've said publicly you don't think XRP should be regulated as security. So why is the SEC so adamant about this?
It's great to be with you, Cheryl. Thanks very much. Charlie, good to see you.
Good to see you, Chris.
You had Chairman Gensler on just, I think, a few days ago, and he made it very clear he wasn't going to comment on an ongoing enforcement matter. The same applies to former chairman as much as it does to current chairman. What I would say is, before the SEC launched its enforcement action against XRP and Ripple, I penned an op-ed along with my colleagues from Wilkie Farr and Gallagher in an international law review, applying the same approach we would have taken when I was at the CFTC to analyze XRP under that so-called Howey test. And we came to the conclusion in that 2020 article that it wasn't a security, and I stand behind that article today. But as for commenting on that specific action, once it's in front of the court, it's not for me as a former chair to handicap how the judge may rule in this case.
Well, Chris, this case, the Ether is not before the court right now. At least it's before the court of public opinion and whether it is a security. But let's unpack this a little bit. Gary Gensler has consistently sidestepped the question if XRP is a security, because remember, they did some of the similar things they did on Ether, which is sell the token to help build out their platform, thus making it an investment in the SEC's view, obviously not your view. Then why isn't Ether a security? Because they did an ICO to help out help at some point build the Ethereum blockchain. So I guess my question to you, Chris, is if the SEC wins this case, does Gensler have to go back in time and basically consider Ether a security and ding the Ethereum people?
Well, it's the right question to ask, Charlie. And in my book, I talk about our analysis and our work with the SEC back in 2019 when I was chair of the CFTC and Jay Clayton was at the SEC, and our work looking at Ethereum. And it was the Ethereum precedent that we looked at in 2020 after I left the commission in coming to the conclusion that XRP is not a security. Right. So the analogy is certainly there. The precedent is there. And I think depending on how this case comes out, it could be very challenging for the way Ethereum is considered.
So you think Gensler could bring the case if he wins this one against Ethereum?
Again, I don't want to handicap what the SEC might do or not. I just, as a legal precedent, it would be challenging.
Yeah, interesting. Also,
so that's kind of his take on what's going on. Obviously, he has to kind of watch how he kind of answers things, being a former chairman. I kind of respect that, but he's kind of giving his take on, what's going on. So we covered in our past videos, based on the verbiage and what's going on with, Chair Gensler's responses to his recent interview where he says he can't speak on, ongoing, like legal cases or matters. And it's like, we were all kind of wondering like, hey, so does that mean that, they're kind of brewing like some sort of case to go against Ethereum? Can we expect that, Ethereum's going to be put under the microscope or, and then we were also talking about, okay, if they were to go after them, they're not going to want us to see who those suppressed well purchases were back in the day. And they don't want us to see, those 63 emails that were going out. So there's a lot of stuff that, the SEC and, all parties involved in this Ethereum free pass, they're not going to want us to see what happened behind closed doors. So we were talking about, could there potentially be like a quick settlement to kind of, sweep everything under the rug and kind of get that going? When I mean a quick settlement with Ethereum if they were to go after them. So if that were a thing. So all in all, what's been happening recently is we're talking about the 2012 Ripple memos, and the SEC actually, the judge ordered Ripple to unseal them. And Stuart Alderete is Ripple's general counsel. He was, full open arms, didn't want to redact a thing, was, happy to unseal them and let the public see it. And everything has came out. And we found out that, based on, Ripple seeking, counsel on the status of, their operation and how things were going, XRP was not seen as an investment contract. It wasn't seen as a security. So it was a huge win for Ripple. So coming over here, Eleanor Terrett says, looking at the docs, it looks like Ripple legal team was warned in 2012 about the potential risk, albeit small, of the SEC disagreeing with their assessment that XRP is not a security down the road. She quotes here. It says, the more the founder, this is from the documents. The more that founders and company promote Ripple credits as an investment opportunity, the more likely the SEC will take action and argue that Ripple credits are investment contracts and thus securities under the federal securities law. So Ripple credits, XRP. She continues, that being said, this doesn't exactly make or break the case. Ripple will argue that they were proactive about seeking the proper guidance in the absence of definitive laws at the time, and that the legal team was advised XRP was not a security at the time. The SEC will argue that the small risk is still a risk and the Ripple should have taken more caution. You can argue from both sides. So she ends here saying, to everyone calling me out for not being a lawyer, I'm not trying to be, but as someone who's been watching watching the way the case or the SEC has been fighting this case, I think it's fair to assess they will be ready to pick apart anything and everything in the memos if they have to. Absolutely. We've all seen, their tactics. It is tactics by obviously operating by enforcement, regulating by enforcement. They're delaying as much as possible, suppressing, and redacting things as much as possible. And quite honestly, whenever they come to, picking out things to kind of fight their side or prove their side, they're literally going to pick anything and everything and try to spin a narrative to fit their narrative. And that's just the reality. Tech XRP posted something here that's quite interesting. He posted this back on October 9, 2021, but it's talking about this email. Says, does everyone remember this email to Frank from the SEC? In their reply, they say the SEC has not issued a determination on whether the cryptocurrency XRP is a security. So how can, after all this time, you all of a sudden say, oh, you should have known there was security, when you literally have this email here and it says, I think this was October 14th of 2020. You haven't determined it to be a security, but you're saying all this time we should have known, or Ripple should have known it was a security. So we've seen them just contradicting themselves. We're catching them in their lies time after time. Just looking at this, it says, thank you for the recent email to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. We appreciate the opportunity to review your additional concerns about Ripple XRP cryptocurrency. Please be advised, the SEC has not issued a determination on whether the cryptocurrency XRP is a security. Whether cryptocurrency is considered security will depend on the characteristics and the use of the cryptocurrency. As we have suggested, you may want to review Chair Jay Clayton's statement regarding cryptocurrencies and initial coin offerings. So they didn't even know. So how is Ripple supposed to know? This is so powerful, and I completely agree 100%. And this is something that we kind of talk about on my channel. This is what this channel is about. Is like, I truly believe that crypto is key to financial freedom and life-changing wealth. And I know my family and I have been investing and accumulating since 2017, and we have certain financial goals we'd like to meet. And being heavily invested in XRP, a lot of those goals have been suppressed and pushed further down the road because of the lawsuit. So he says, U.S. citizens have spent years seeing corrupt politicians ignore the will of the people, bail out their friends, destroy the value of our money. Crypto is seen as a way to escape with something for our families. I'm going to read that again. Crypto is seen as a way to escape with something for our families. The SEC lawsuit against Ripple for many was the final straw. Absolutely. DAI, man, that is 100% correct. And I truly believe this to my core. And that's the real. Crypto is our way. It is our way to escape that. Coming over here, this is this is huge. So as XRP investors, we always talk about, all the money and, XRP being, a big major part of this whole new financial system when it comes to the pipeline and whatever. So let's take a listen into this video.
Ledger's total addressable market size. All the money. Nobody wanted to feed it. Yeah, it's all the money, because what we're really talking about with this idea of the Internet of Value is creating a single global payment network that connects literally everyone and processes maybe not 100%, but 90+% of all the money. Ledger's total addressable.
So there you go. All the money. So maybe not 100%, but a majority of the money. And that's what we truly believe was going to happen here. So I wanted to touch on Dark Defender's tweet here. So remember what I told you from the beginning. I said, make sure you're paying attention to what's going on with XRP. So if you haven't invested in it, or you are invested in it, or you're looking to invest in it, you really want to start paying attention, because if you think that, when the information comes out that the SEC and Ripple had a settlement and the regulatory clarity is there for Ripple and XRP, that you're going to have the opportunity to get in while, prices are low, while prices are still being suppressed, you're completely wrong, because it's going to be front running, and it's just a reality. There's going to be people who know inside information well in advance, so they're going to continue to accumulate, and it's already been happening. So you see stuff like this. We just knocked down into extreme fear, and then you see XRP, and this is like multiple times in a row since we've been in this extreme fear range, that it's been kind of shooting up. Look at this. 10.5% for the day. Obviously, we had some positivity coming out of the case so far just recently with the memos, but still, it's like you got to be very careful about holding off too long if you wanted to invest into this, because you're going to be front run if you're going to wait for this so-called case to end and the regulatory clarity to be there. Dark Defender hits it on the head. He says, price action will happen before the settlement. Before the settlement, it will be late. It'll be too late for the most to take their positions. Most of us usually like to say, "Oh, I was going to get in. I knew it." But it's too late now. Action is a virtue. Action with persistence is mastery. So be very diligent about that. If you're not invested in, you're kind of waiting around to see what happens with the case, just know that when it does happen and we officially get this information to come out, it's going to be late. It's already going to be running. I wanted to end on this because this has been the talk of the town. 208.6 million XRP shoveled by Coinbase. Rumors of possible XRP RELIST and sparkle. So coming over here, just it says 89 million XRP moved by Coinbase, and there was 120.3 million XRP transferred by exchanges on ODL venues. So like, you see stuff like this and it makes you go like, okay, this, someone knows something. What's going on? Are we getting close to this so-called settlement and the regulatory clarity that we've been, begging for? Quite interesting. And then you have stuff like this. Coinbase, obviously you can't buy it. You can custody it on Coinbase, but you can't, purchase XRP on Coinbase. But they have a how to buy XRP on their website here. It says Coinbase.com, how to buy XRP. Super interesting. And then this is nuts too. the World Economic Forum. So we know about the list of so-called cryptocurrencies on here that, you know, the World Economic Forum kind of backs because they have it listed, you know, XRP being one of them, Solana being another one, Algorand, and so on. Look at this. Coinbase, World Economic Forum.organization/Coinbase. Quite interesting. Pay attention, people. Things are starting to heat up. Things are going to move fast. So with all that being said, stay strong out there. Be safe.